So this episode is all about how you can start a blog and make money as soon as possible. It is by far the question that I get the most often, and if I would have known half of these tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you today when I first got started blogging back in like 2015, 2016, I would have been able to quit my job in probably half the time that it actually took to quit that soul-sucking 9-to-5 job and actually go full-time with my blogs. So we are going to cover the 4 crucial steps that you need to make your first dollar online as fast as possible. I'll show you specifically where you need to put your website online, the types of posts that you need in order to be successful as soon as possible, as well as at least 3 ways that you can make money from your blog, one of which, if done right, you can earn money in less than 30 days. Also, be sure to check the first link down in the description and the first pinned comment if you ever want to dive a little deeper. Now let's get into the episode. All right, so the absolute number one thing that you need to do when you're first getting started with your blog is you need to choose a topic for your blog. Now, if you have seen any videos on blogging, you probably heard people also talk about this word called a niche or a niche, or however you want to pronounce it based on where you are from in the world. But it's basically the same thing. The topic of your blog is the niche that the blog happens to be in. Now, a niche specifically is just a group of people who are all interested in one particular thing. I like to use the example of maybe when you were in school, you think about you had the cool kids, you had the gothic kids, you had the nerds. I was kind of a nerd, but all of these groups of people all had one thing in common. They liked a particular set of stuff, right? So for example, the gothic kids, they liked black nail polish and wearing black, boots and all of that cool stuff. The jocks and the cool kids were probably all into buying, designer clothing and buying, stuff to play football or, whatever. And then you had the nerds who probably like computers and yada, yada, yada. So you kind of see the point I'm trying to make here. Those people are part of niches. They like to talk about one particular thing. Now, the reason that you talk about one particular subject is because there's an old marketing saying out there that says if you try to talk to everybody, you end up talking to nobody. So you need to talk to one specific group of people and to them alone. The way blogging used to be in the past, a long time ago, where people would write about what they ate for breakfast or, they went to the gym earlier this morning, that kind of blogging actually doesn't work anymore. You need to talk to a specific group of people about one particular topic. So something that I hear a lot from current students that I have, as well as other people that I've worked with in the past, is they want to write about everything. They want to write about maybe their favorite dish that they like to cook. Maybe they have a hobby in cars and fixing up cars, or maybe they like to play checkers or other types of games. They have all of these different interests and they want to put it on one blog, but that's not going to work. Just think of it this way. There's one channel that talks about cartoons. There's another channel that talks about sports, and there's another one that talks about news. Now, it would be really weird if one day someone starts talking politics on a cooking channel, right? It just doesn't make sense. It might even turn you off because you're like, I don't want to watch this. I tune to the cooking channel to talk about food, not to talk about politics. So you need to talk about one specific thing because that's the target audience you're going to have when you're creating your blog. Now, before we get into step number 2, I want to remind you to stay all the way to the end because I'm going to show you how to make money with your blog as fast as possible in as little as 30 days if you do everything correctly. So be sure to stay tuned for that. So now that you have chosen the topic, you now need to build a website. Now, don't let building a website scare you because it can be a little intimidating if you've never done it before. So if you don't have any type of tech experience, it would be helpful if you had someone to help you step by step through the whole process, right? But it's actually not as difficult as it used to be. Back in like maybe 2013, 2012, it was a little bit difficult to build a website. You need to know about coding and HTML and all of this fun stuff. Nowadays, if you choose the right places to build your website, it's literally just pressing a couple of buttons and your website is live on the internet, ready for people to find and see. And really, the best part about that entire process is that it's actually fairly inexpensive to do as well. There's a lot of business models out there, and a lot of them require you to invest thousands of dollars just to get started. I think McDonald's requires like $750,000 worth of liquid assets just to get started with the franchise. But with a blog, it's the complete opposite. You can literally get started with a blog for about $20. So the absolute number one thing that you need to get started with your website is a domain name. Now, a domain name is simply the name of your website. So for example, google.com is a domain name. Yahoo.com is a domain name. YouTube.com is a domain name. So you just need to come up with a good name for your website, which is going to be your new business. You can get these fairly cheap as well, probably anywhere from $8 to $9, maybe $10 or $12 max, but that's for the entire year, and you don't have to worry about paying for it again for a long time. One of my favorite places to go to get a domain name is called NAMECHEAP.com. Be sure to go check them out. Hashtag not sponsored. Now, when choosing a domain name, there's a few things that you want to make sure that you keep in mind rather than just going out there and just buying whatever you feel like at the time. So number one, don't include any numbers or anything like that within your domain name. And I know you're probably thinking, yeah, I've seen numbers in domain names all the time, but a big reason for that is you want to make it nice and simple and easy to remember, so that if you were like in an elevator with somebody and you gave them your elevator pitch for the name of your website and you had to tell them, oh yeah, it's Golf 365, it's actually the numbers 365. You don't have to spell it out. And at that point, they've probably already lost interest, right? So try your best to not include actual numbers in your domain name. Also, make your domain name short and sweet. And I mean 2 to 3 words max if you can. Again, this is all about recallability of that name, being able for people to remember it very easily, and something that's unique so that when you Google it, yours is going to be one of the only websites that pops up. Be careful of weird spellings of things as well. You don't want to get to the point to where you have to always explain it. If you have an interesting last name, sometimes you might think about that, because every time you tell someone your last name, you have to spell it for them, right? Because that's something that you can't change. But your domain name is kind of similar. You can't really change it after you've created it. So make sure that it's something good. Regardless of whatever you do, don't overthink it. Literally give yourself a time period. Say you want to give it a day or two to think about, and then actually pull a trigger, spend the $8 and buy the domain name. After you have purchased the domain name, the next thing that you need to get your website up and running is some hosting. Now, I recommend using WordPress. That's like probably the language of the internet, because everyone uses it and it's very easily readable by Google, which is going to be our main traffic source to get eyeballs onto our websites. The place that I like to use is called WPX Hosting. They are an amazing platform that really has great customer service. So if you ever have any issues or any problems, you can literally send them a chat, and within 30 seconds, they're answering your questions. I'll be sure to link them down in the description. It is an affiliate link, and if you do decide to go with WPX, the channel will benefit from it, and we greatly appreciate it, but it's at no additional cost to you. But it is an amazing service that I use every single day. WPX Hosting is probably going to set you back about $20 or so per month. However, if you're going to skimp on anything, I would not skimp on the hosting. You want to make sure that your website is fast and is up 100% of the time as much as possible, because a website that's not up is not going to make you any money. So now that we have chosen the topic or the niche for our website, and we've gotten somewhere to put that website, our domain and our hosting, we need to start creating content for that website. Now, the content for a blog is just that, the blog post or the articles that you're going to be writing to put onto the website. Now, this part of the equation, creating content for your site, is absolutely crucial. I can't tell you how many times I've worked with people and they tell me, oh, I've posted an article and I'm waiting for it to rank and I'm waiting for it to be on the first page of Google and start making some money from it. And then I'll ask them, well, how many articles do you have so far? And they'll say like 2. Yeah, you're going to need more than 2 articles to be able to reliably rank on Google. Creating content for a blog can also be like the hardest, but also the easiest thing to do on your site. There's so many things that needs to happen in order for your blog to be successful. And sometimes we'll push to the back burner creating the content because we'll get stuck creating a logo or get stuck creating what we want our site to look like constantly. Some of the most ugliest sites on the internet have the most traffic because the content is what's going to bring people to your website. Now, in order to attract visitors to your website, this content that you are creating needs to be content that people is actually looking for. It can't just be anything just for the sake of ranking online. For example, I am a big Office fan, and if I wrote an article that said, what color is Dwight Schrute's car, I'm probably going to end up ranking #1 for that particular keyword because of the article that I would write that would go along with it. However, how many people are actually looking for that? And of the people who are looking for it, what are the chances that they're interested in buying really anything? Yeah, if you really think about it, that's pretty slim. No one's going to find it, and the people who are looking for it are probably not going to buy anything, which means I probably shouldn't be writing that article to begin with. So I recommend using a process that's called SEO, or search engine optimization. Sometimes this can be a little intimidating if you heard it before in the past, but actually SEO is very, very simple. There's about 10 things that you need to do to make sure that your articles rank on the first page of Google. I'll be sure to link a video somewhere that it will explain the 10 things that you need to do to rank on Google every time. Now, another question that I get a lot is people will say stuff like, well, what if I just create content on Facebook, or create content on Twitter, or podcast, or even, Instagram, TikTok, all of these places? Why don't I just create content there and then drive people to my products? Hey, those will actually work for you as well. But the thing with those types of social media is that it's a constant treadmill of constantly creating more and more content to feed that beast that is their platforms. The second that you stop posting stuff on Instagram or Twitter or TikTok or whatever, you're going to see the traffic that you were getting slowly dying. Now with Google SEO, typically articles that you create can rank for years. I can't tell you how many times I've been doing research on a particular topic, and I've seen articles that's been ranking since 2012. If you're keeping track at home, yeah, that's more than a decade that has been sitting on the first page of Google, still making people money today. There is no other platform out there that's going to give you that type of return on your investment of either time or money like Google SEO will. Google is amazing. You just need to trust the process and mow through it. The number 4 step that you need to get your website up and running as fast as possible and making money is you need to monetize it. So now that we have chosen a topic, we have found a place where we want to store our website, and then we started to create content for that website. When we start getting visitors to our site, now we need to monetize them or find a way to make money off of them. Now, this is where it really starts to get fun because there's so many different ways that you can create multiple streams of income from a blog. One way to do it is from something called display ads. Now, display ads are those really annoying pop-ups and stuff that you see when you go to a website. Maybe you went to Amazon earlier that day and then you go to another website and they show what you were looking at on Amazon earlier. Those are called display ads, and the website that you're on gets paid for that. Another way you can make money with a blog is with sponsorships. So you can get people to post on your site and actually pay you to do that. But as great as display ads and sponsorships, and there's a few others as well, but these are the main ones, the best one, absolutely the best one out there, is called affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is by far the fastest and best way to monetize a website, especially when you're first getting started. So to explain what affiliate marketing is, let me give you this example. So I have a favorite pizza place that I like to go to all the time that's literally right around the corner from the house. But let's just say the owner walked up to me and he asked me, you come here all the time, Chris, you obviously love our pizza. What if you referred some of your friends over, and every time they came over to get some pizza, I'll give you $10. And me, since I absolutely love that pizza anyway, it would be pretty easy to recommend it to friends and family. So I'll go along to all of my friends and family and say, hey, go to this pizza place, let them know that I sent you, and get you some great pizza because the pizza's great. So maybe if I were to recommend, 4 or 5 people over, they go over and get it, I can make $40 or $50, which isn't bad. However, what if I found a way to let 100 people know, or 1,000 people know, or 10,000 people? All of a sudden you multiply that by 10 and you can get a pretty good chunk of change just from recommending a service that you already enjoy and like. Now, I know there's a lot of people online who talk about affiliate marketing this and affiliate marketing that, but I'm going to try to simplify it for you the best way. There's 2 main things that you need to know about when you are going after affiliate marketing. Number 1, it needs to be either high ticket, meaning you're going to make a decent amount of money per sale, or it needs to be recurring income, meaning it's something that someone needs to buy every single month, meaning that you're going to get a commission every time someone makes that purchase. Those by far are like the holy grails of affiliate marketing. If you can build up a recurring income over and over again, you can get paid for months or even years down the line and only have to make that sale once. For example, just today, I got an email from someone who bought a product that I recommended more than 4 years ago, and I'll probably put a screenshot or somewhere on here, and I'm still getting paid today. That's kind of insane, but it's really awesome that kind of thing is a thing when it comes to affiliate marketing. Another key to make sure that affiliate marketing works for the business that you're trying to create right now is to be sure to choose the right niche or topic for your site. But usually that can be very difficult or confusing if you don't know what you're doing. So I did you a solid and I created a video right here that I want you to go check out, where I go over the 10 most profitable affiliate niches out there to help you quit your 9 to 5.